All right. We are finally here. Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. If this is your first time here or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, please do so, along with hitting that thumbs up button for me and dropping your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings. Today officially the season has begun. Media Day was today. We got to hear from Mike Brown, Brunson, Cat, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart, all discussing the upcoming season. I have audio clips for you. I have some breakdowns for you. I have some interesting thoughts and ideas about what they had said, and we're going to get into it. First thing I want to say is I am unbelievably excited for this season. This is going to be it's there's still a lot of obstacles, health, chemistry, anything can happen, but right now, the way things are shaping up, this could be the most thrilling season for Knicks fans in, I'm going to say, 50 plus years. That's right. All right, let's get to it. First of all, so these are the five that came out and spoke today at Media Day. I don't know why OG didn't speak. Would have been nice to hear from him, but these are the most important person, from my opinion, to speak was Mike Brown today, and he had some very interesting things to say. And actually, we're just going to jump to it. I have it right here. Let's go to it right now.
That's the first thing. Tell them run faster.
Actually, here it is.
In your mind, are you settled on a starting lineup, or is that something that's going to materialize throughout camp?
Yeah, no, it will materialize throughout camp. I think it's too early to go in and say, hey, this is what's going to happen. The roster, Leon and his group did a fantastic job putting together a talented, deep roster, and so you have to be methodical with your approach when it comes to declaring, okay, hey, these guys are going to start.
Do you have a team identity that you're solving for as you're looking for that starting lineup, or is that something that will emerge as you make those decisions?
Yeah, that will emerge as we make the decisions, but the one thing that we want to make sure we do offensively, we want to play fast with the floor spaced, and not just in the full court, but in the half court too, with a certain cadence though in the half court. And then defensively, we want to be physical. We want people to fill us, and we want to do so without fouling. And so those are two things at the forefront of what I'd like to get accomplished early on with this team.
Do you have...
Okay. So, first of all, he said he claims that he hasn't decided who the starters are going to be. And I love that. I love that he said that. I have some things to say about that later on. I got to take these Bluetooth things out of my ears. It sounded really weird. I have to say also that when he's talking about the up-tempo style, he knows what he's talking about. He was right there. He was the assistant coach for Steve Kerr in Golden State that played an up-tempo style. But actually, when he went to Sacramento, he even upped that. They were the fastest team in the NBA in the first season that he took over there. So he knows what he's talking about, and he wants to do it in the half court. And that's going to make life easier for the offensive players. They may cover more ground, but they won't struggle as much to get their shots off because they're going to create more good looks for each other. Now, the next thing that he had to say, probably, in my opinion, is the most important thing that he had to say, which is talking about what he wants to happen. And I'm going to comment afterwards on what exactly he said. Here we go. All right.
That's the first thing. Tell them run faster.
This was about the style of play.
There are things within what we try to do and what we teach. And, for us, the biggest thing is getting to the corners. You got to have guys that are capable of getting to the corners quickly. If you have guys that can get to the corners, especially guys that can shoot the ball and or make plays like we do on this team, and it doesn't matter who gets to the corners. Our 1, 2, 3, and 4 are going to be interchangeable. Our five will pretty much do the same job every time, whether it's a rim run or a trail spot that he'll fill. But if you can get guys to the corner right now, then that's going to flatten the defense. And it's going to start the dominoes to fall with the ability to drive and touch the paint, kick, and all those other things. And so emphasizing that while putting a sense of urgency or a sense of importance on getting to the corners is going to be huge. And if our guys embrace that, which I feel they will, that'll start the whole process the right way.
Okay, there was so much great said there. So, for one, he's going to prioritize getting to the corners, getting there quickly. But listen to what he clearly said. He said when you have guys 1 through 4 that can comfortably shoot the 3, and the 5 who will rim run or trail, that means most likely he's looking at Mitch Robinson starting in this unit, because Hart hasn't been a competent 3-point shooter. Let's put it this way. He has been, but last year he wasn't. He shot 33%. So, and what did they do? What did defenses do, especially when against the better defenses? They put the big on him. So that strategy right now is going to be upended by starting Mitch Robinson right away. And that is good news. That is really good news, because the starting unit of that New York Knicks that included Hart, Brunson, McCall, OG, and Cat, they started off the season pretty good. I think they were a +4 in net rating up until December 31st. But from January 1st through the end of the season, they were a -1.4. And you can't have that for the starting unit that played the most minutes in the entire NBA. The five, let's put it this way, the 5-man unit that played the most minutes in the NBA. Now, let's say Thibs had been held onto and he was brought back and he still went with that unit. There is a chance that, with greater chemistry, working out certain kinks, that they might have been able to continue the positive play that they had in the beginning of the season, but it all depended on Josh Hart hitting his threes. He's got to space the floor. Brown is already looking at other alternatives. So even though he said he hasn't committed to a starting unit, it's still too early, and that they're going to, he didn't use the word experiment, but he implied that they're going to experiment on different things, and as they should, get into the lab, work things out. At the end of the day, I think what's going to come out is going to be the most dynamic unit that, in Cat's own words on Media Day, the players are going to be the best version of themselves. That is what we're looking for here. That injects me with tremendous excitement over what's going to come in the upcoming season. Now, let's go listen to Cat himself. He was asked a key question. I just have one clip that really impressed me about what he had to say.
If it's Josh in the game or if it's Mitch in the game, I feel very confident that with either one of them, we have a great chance of winning. My preference is winner. It's the only preference I got. Regardless if it's Josh in the game or if it's Mitch in the game, I feel very confident that with either one of them, we have a great chance of winning. My preference is winner. It's the only preference I got. Regardless who.
All right. So there it is. I mean, he was asked, what's your preference for the starting unit? He's like, I don't care. He just wants to win. So whatever works. He knows he's going to be in the starting lineup, so that makes that life easier for him. But I think all of the Knicks have this attitude. Right now, the New York Knicks and the Cleveland Cavaliers are the two teams to beat in the East. And from what I've been hearing today, for Media Day, I'm putting Knicks above the Cavs. Even though I haven't listened to the Cavs Media Day, but there's just something about the poise that every single Knick that came to the mic today that fills me with tremendous confidence that these guys are going to follow up. They're going to walk the talk. They're going to follow up the words that they're giving us today with action on the court. And that's really exciting, especially when Mike Brown talked about he also wants the opponent to feel them on the defensive end. feel them, be physical, but without fouling. That was something that plagued Cat last season tremendously, plagued several Knicks tremendously. Josh Hart himself as well. So if Brown can implement a defensive scheme and a prioritizing that you don't foul, but still be physical, and that actually gets through to these guys, the defense will automatically begin to escalate from what it was last season, especially the starting unit. And that is the most important thing. And especially if, as Kat said, if it is Mitch or Hart, he doesn't care. The only thing he cares about is winning. And I think for them to truly maximize their full potential, the Knicks will probably be looking at Mitch Robinson as the starter. Now, if you get the season going and it doesn't work out, you have other options because you did experimenting during the preseason camp. Maybe Yabusele is the one who gets the nod. We'll see. We shall see. But now let's go listen to Jalen Brunson was asked about Tom Thibodeau being let go. And obviously that impacted, he was the one player that would impact the most on this team. I mean, several other guys. Josh Hart, of course, spoke very glowingly about Thibs, that he basically helped him get paid. He helped him become a better player. And that is true, absolutely true. But Jalen Brunson's relationship with Tom Thibodeau goes a lot deeper.
Yeah, I think obviously it's sad to see a man I've known for a long time part ways with this organization, but he's meant a lot to me. I've expressed that to him publicly and personally, and but yeah, he's meant a lot to my career up to this point.
He has meant a lot to his career and his life. So it was tough. I'm curious if Leon and company alerted Brunson that they were going to let Thibs go. Nothing's been reported about that. But it's hard to believe that if your most important player would have a terrible reaction, kind of like the way De'Aaron Fox had a terrible reaction to when Mike Brown was let go, and then eventually De'Aaron was traded. You'd think the Knicks wouldn't want that kind of situation. So even though he understands, Jalen Brunson understood that Thibs has made a tremendous impact on his life and career, he seems to have accepted that maybe it was time for a change. But there's a lot riding on this. Because when you make changes like this, and you have Mike Brown coming in, it's not like Mike Brown is not a championship coach himself. He's still looking for that. But that's what I like. I like that hunger in him. Really like that hunger in him. All right, let's keep going here with some more developments here from Media Day. Probably the one big negative from today, from that what I heard, was about Josh Hart. Steve Popper here tweeted this out. Josh Hart said he had a procedure to repair a finger injury, but re-aggravated it recently and will have to wear a splint likely this season and address it next summer again. So he's not going to have surgery. We'll move on because Bondi also covered this as well. This was in the New York Post. Josh Hart's surgically repaired finger remains a problem heading into the season. And Bondi wrote this. He quoted Josh Hart here. This is Josh Hart's words. "I'm still trying to figure it out. Me, personally, I hate playing with anything on my hand," said Hart, whose finger remains visibly swollen. And it was, man, that thing was humongous. It was like double the size, especially around the knuckle. "I don't feel like I have a good feel for it. It might take a little getting used to, but that's the best scenario for me right now. And I want to be out there with these guys. And I'm going to do everything I can to be out there with these guys." That's going to be tricky. Maybe the swelling will go down in the next couple of weeks. They don't play the first game until October 2nd. And maybe Brown uses him gingerly to let the swelling go down. If he uses a splint, hopefully it's the kind of splint that gives Hart enough flexibility and stability at the same time that he can get his shot off. Last season, when he came to the Knicks, when he was traded to the Knicks on the trade deadline in 2023, he was an amazing three-point shooter for the Knicks, over 45%. Now, that last year, that didn't happen. Last year was 33%. He needs to make his threes for him to be effective, but he also needs to be able to get to the hoop, battle through traffic, finish at the hoop, which is one of his beautiful attributes that he has offensively, the grab the rebound and just go. If he can be effective and at least shoot, 37% from the three-point line with the splint, then I think we got something. If not, there may be a situation, and even he intimated that if he's not comfortable, it's possible that he may have to look at surgery during the season. I haven't looked up how long that might be. He'd be out, but that's one of the reasons why a deep bench is crucial, and the Knicks now have one. And that is another thing that Mike Brown did say today when he was asked about his rotations. And he said, I usually play 9.5 to 10-man rotations. And he doesn't expect that he will deviate from that. So 9.5 to 10, to me, means 10. So that is interesting. That means Landry Shamet and Brogdon, if they make the team, will be getting minutes. That means even a guy like Pacom Dadier, if he's still around, will probably get a look here and there. That means that Deuce is going to be getting his fair share of minutes. His role probably will not be that reduced. So that is also very encouraging because it helps keep the players fresher throughout the whole season. As we all remember, the whole issue with Mikal Bridges and Tom Thibodeau. Mikal saying he went and spoke to Thibs saying, hey, why don't you play some of the bench guys? And then Thibs acting like the conversation never happened. But Mikal never took it back. So my feeling is the conversation did happen. Maybe Thibs didn't realize it was happening, which that's a big negative on Thibs, honestly. So it also may have been one of the reasons why he ended up getting let go. Maybe not really hearing what his players were saying, not really seeing what was happening on the court to his players who were looking, obviously exhausted to the plain eye, to us. All right, let's move on here. Mikal Bridges also spoke today, and he was asked about taking less than the max extension, and he said, I think if I came in here and preached how much I want to win, then tried to take every dollar and make it difficult for the organization, I would be a fraud. And that's not who I am. Boom. He also talked about, hanging out, not wanting to travel much this summer. He wanted to be with his dog. He to me expressed the most deepest desire to win a championship of all the players that we talked. I mean, they all kind of took a nodded at it, but he specifically talked about it. He said here, getting that close and losing, it was not fun at all. You can be more grateful, but our expectations are different. We use that for fuel. You can't get to June without going through all these other months. Worry about the now and get prepared. These guys are fully prepared. These guys are prepared to bring home the ring for the New York Knicks, for New York City, for every New York Knicks fan that has suffered for all these years since 1973. I am just, I get goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Now, long way to go, like I said in the beginning of this video. A lot can happen. Chemistry issues could develop. Injuries could really hamper them. A lot of things can happen. Last season, these Knicks got pretty lucky injury-wise, even though Brunson did miss some time. I think it was OG and Mitch didn't come back until late February. But this is starting to feel like the right chemistry, the right setup, the right players, and even though the coaching search was kind of interesting. Let's put it that way. And Brown wasn't their number one choice. He may end up being the right choice. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. This is Into the Knicks-Verse. If this is your first time here, please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button for me. I'll be dropping videos all the time. If you want to contribute to the channel, please do so. You can do it through Cash App. I know some of you have already, and I really appreciate that. I don't know if you want me to shout you guys out, but I really appreciate that. I know who you are. Genuine appreciation for that. I will be starting the membership channel very soon as the preseason rolls on. It's going to be exciting. Going to cover all of it. We're going to get into it. And actually, if you're watching this tonight, I will be on Knicks Fan TV on Wednesday with CP himself talking about everything Knicks. Okay, I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's go. Get to June. Let's get to June.